When I was doing stuff up on Mauna Kea a long, long time ago, one of my genealogist friends in Kona had told me, she actually told me this, she said, um, your ancestors said you have to go up to Mauna Kea and you have to do this chant. You have to do this chant this way. And I'm looking at her like, what in the world would you think would make me believe that? That they're going to come and tell you? And then she was explaining to me why. And the reason that she actually got me, she said, because she asked the same question. And she said the answer was that if you tell him and he hears you, he will not stop until it's done. And I said, now that's probably the only thing you could have told me that would have made me believe that you actually talked to them. So anyway, so the chant that she gave me was a little bit, a slightly different version of the chant that we're familiar with, which is the Ho Mai chant. Yeah, we all kind of do that. That kind of popped around the time of when we did the Kamakehea at Ho'i Mai. That was that 24-hour vigil we had at all 4 points of Ho'i Mai, yeah. Anyway, so it's like the Ho Mai chant. And Ho Mai is, of course, you're calling to ask to come to you. But in the way that we use it all the time, it's we talk about Ona Meli, which refers to the songs, yeah. And we're confining it to just the songs, yeah. And we're saying that the knowledge is in the songs, and yes, it is, but it's not the only place it is. And so, in this way that I was taught, by changing the word from Ho Mai to Ho'i Mai, calls from a much deeper past, a much greater library, really, and it calls for the summary of truths. Okay, that condensed version of all these years of getting this information and cleaning until you got a really fine product, yeah. And it's calling for that fine information. And you're calling it from a very deep past that is part of your family lines, it's the lines of men, but it's also your bloodlines, okay? And it recognizes that it's a whole family of people. It's like a great library out there that are based on peoples. And it's right in the realm of Po. And the realm of Po does not mean darkness or black. It means it's just right beyond the reach. And so we're asking it to come through and allow us to partake in this wonderful supper, like, you know. And so the chant goes, and I was told that when you do this, because it's an old chant, it's an old, you're calling from a real old thing, there's an old saying, a way of greeting that greets the very ancient. And the word they use is Wilina. So it goes, Ui, Wilina, Wilina, Wilina. E Ho'i Mai, kahiki mai, luna mai. O na mea una no iau. E aoe. E Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. Ho'i Mai, kahiki mai, luna mai. O na mea una no iau. O la hui e Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. Ho'i Mai, kahiki mai, luna mai. O na mea una no iau. O na poe. E Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. E Ho'i Mai. And you know, it's really, really neat because, you know, I didn't grow up learning this stuff. I wasn't in that environment where this was common stuff to me. I had to learn it. And actually, I ran away from it, didn't want to know it. But then it got to a point where I had to know it. And so, you know, when you're an adult and you're not as resistant to everything, and then you're finally discovering that you had to learn stuff that you should have learned when you were a little kid, you know, a different kind of ono comes to you. You really, you have this thirst to know. And so, I'm always one of those guys that's like, oh, you got a chance to do what? No shit, it did this? And so I go try it and see if I can see what was the magic in that. Why was that supposed to be such a neat chant? Why did it work for so long? And so that's a chant you're going to hear us do, or as we do these videos, as we're trying to bring, what we're trying to do is we're trying to break this veil of only responding to crap that they deliver to us in defense. Yeah, even though we're getting better at defending ourselves, why do we only defend ourselves? Can we not move forward like we actually own it? It's actually ours. We dictate how it should be. I believe that you and I all agree that that's how it's supposed to be. So now what we're going to do is start refining our tools, okay? We have to deal with what we have today, that's true. But we have a resource that nobody else has, okay? And we're just now coming to a place where we have access to it. We actually have a need for it now. One that we actually know that we need, because those tools are not on this planing right now. And we know that if we just deal with the crap that we've got, we don't have enough stuff to help us out. So we need to call from that ancient past. And to know that you have a right to, that is phenomenal. I mean, it's like, no kidding. Are you kidding me? I can go look at the ancient files? Yeah, and that's what it is. We get to look at the ancient files. We're not finding out something new. We're finding out something that is that made our people such rich and marvelous people that they could travel across the largest body of water on Earth and get to that destination because they believe they can make it. Now that's powerful. And that's all in us. We all have that. That's the gift of being Hawaiian. We have that in our na'o.